What are likely the most expensive vintage cars held in private collections that have sold for astronomical prices in secretive deals rather than public auctions? Get ready to discover some most valuable classic automobiles that are hidden away, unlikely to be seen anywhere else. 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. The 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR stands at the very top as the most expensive car ever sold. An incredible $142 million changed hands in a private sale of this ultra-rare legend. Only 2 prototypes were hand-built by the Mercedes team, making the 300 SLR one of the rarest cars on the planet. This spaceship-like machine was made for racing royalty. The 300 SLR racked up wins across Europe in the 1950s, dominating the circuits with its brute power. The body shape looks like it flew in from the future, smooth and slippery, slicing through the air with ease. Under the curvy hood sits a beastly 3-liter straight-8 engine, derived from Mercedes' record-breaking machines of earlier days. Everything about the 300 SLR oozes cutting-edge technology and performance. These weren't just pretty shapes. They were engineered to destroy the competition on the racetrack. Years later, the spaceship 300 SLR still looks like it's roaring in from another time. The recent private sale of one of the 2 existing 300 SLR coupes absolutely shattered records. An unknown buyer paid an earth-shattering $142 million, over double what the previous highest price of a car at auction stood at. Who knows when another will come up for sale, if ever. For now, this spaceship Mercedes holds the title of most expensive car on the planet. 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO. The 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO is considered the holy grail for car collectors worldwide. Some have spent their entire lives searching for this automotive icon. Only 36 were ever built, making the 250 GTO one of the rarest cars in existence. In 2019, one of these 36 legends was sold in a hush-hush private sale for an astonishing $70 million. The 250 GTO was born to race. When it debuted in 1962, it began snatching up wins at tracks across Europe. The howling V12 engine sits low and far back for incredible balance and handling, and it sounds like a wild beast, with the cockpit tucked tightly behind the massive front fenders flaring out like wings to trap air against its body. Everything about its design screams speed and aggression. Over its racing career in the early 1960s, the 250 GTO secured the manufacturer's championship 3 years in a row. This cemented its status as one of the most dominant race cars ever created. As the checkered flag dropped on its last win, the 250 GTO was already a motorsport legend primed for collector fame in later decades. Today, Ferrari's 250 GTO is considered the pinnacle by car collectors. Its petite, muscular body hides history-making race dominance. Finding one is like discovering lost treasure, which is why someone undisclosed paid a mind-bending fortune to claim one of the 36 to sit among their private collection. Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. The divine Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic looks like a godly chariot built for racing royalty. Its daring curves and flowing fenders could only have come from the imagination of Ettore Bugatti himself. Of the entire Bugatti lineage, the Atlantic represents the peak combination of beauty, rarity, and all-out performance. Only 4 Atlantics were hand-shaped from 1936 to 1938. 3 still exist today, as likely the most valuable cars in the world. The seductive pontoon fenders sweep back from the tidy, tapered cockpit. The whole shape looks slippery, like it's moving fast even while standing still. Under the long hood sits a beast. A supercharged straight-8 engine good for over 200 mph, an insane speed back in the 1930s. Yet despite its performance, one cannot ignore the artistry in the metal. Its silhouette brings visions of speeding bullet trains, vintage racing boats, and far-off places. In 2010, one of the 4 Bugatti Atlantic Pioneers was auctioned off for what was then an earth-shattering $40 million, by far the highest price ever paid for an automobile at the time. Not only did the Atlantic claim the price record, but it sparked dreams and obsession for a whole new generation of elite collectors in its wake. Of the magnificent Bugattis ever crafted over the decades, the Atlantic stands today as the ultimate prize. Its paltry production run of 4 continues to drive up desirability and price to astronomical levels amongst those chasing automotive legends. 1957 Ferrari 335S. The 1957 Ferrari 335S dominated the racing scene in the late 1950s, securing victory after victory for its drivers behind the wheel. Its soul was pure competition, with every detail obsessed over for blistering track performance. Under the long, graceful hood roared a beastly V12 engine, putting out a then massive 400 horsepower. Combined with its curvy spider body shape, the 335S ripped down straightaways at previously unfathomable speeds. It left competitors in the dust, often by huge margins of victory. Within just 2 years of launch, the 335S had already etched its name into the record books as one of Ferrari's great competitive triumphs. No one could touch it on the circuits in 1957 and 1958. As the checkered flags waved over and over again, Ferrari added the now legendary 335S to the highlights reel of motorsport history. In modern times, the dominant 335S has become a top collector's item for Ferrari fans and racing enthusiasts. Its extraordinary race-winning ways make it hugely sought after at auctions by elite buyers. In 2016, chassis number 0674 brought an astonishing $36 million at open sale, cementing the 1957 Ferrari 335S as one of the most valuable cars ever to be auctioned. 1964 Ferrari 275P. The 1964 Ferrari 275P dominated the racing scene during the golden era of the 1960s. Only a small number were ever built, with each one specially crafted for blistering track performance. Driven by greats like Phil Hill, the 275P blitzed around European circuits to many victories between 1964 and 1965. Under the long hood roared a Fury, a 3.3-liter V12 engine putting out 300 horsepower. The engine sat midship for insane balance and precision reflexes. Around corners, the 275P clung to the track like glue thanks to its near-perfect weight distribution. On long straights, it simply outran the competition. When the checkered flag dropped on sports car racing's greatest era, production of the dominant 275P ceased as well. Today, these rare racers are among the most valuable 1960s Ferraris in existence. At auction in 2014, chassis 0935 sold for an amazing $30 million to a private buyer. It was the only 275P to survive its racing career completely undamaged, making it doubly special. The 1964 Ferrari 275P now sits cemented in history as one of the ultimate representations of 1960s endurance racing. Its value and fame today almost rivals its glory days, outracing the competition to the delight of cheering crowds decades ago. Of all these priceless autos hidden away, which was your personal favorite? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this episode of Elite Realm. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights into the lives of the ultra-wealthy.